A mysterious airbase, a multi-decade deployment, and a silent withdrawal. This is not some story from the Cold War. This is the story of India's first overseas airbase. It is located in Central Asia, in the village of Ayni in Tajikistan. And why are we talking about it tonight? Because, turns out, India vacated this airbase in 2022. Back then, there was no announcement or press release. India simply packed up and left. But this week, reports of India's withdrawal emerged. And today, the government has confirmed it.
We had a bilateral arrangement with Tajikistan for the rehabilitation and development of Ayni aerodrome. This arrangement was in place for several years. After the conclusion of the agreement that we had with Tajikistan, we have handed over the facility to the Tajik side. This happened in 2022.
So what's the story of Ayni? How did India get it? What did India do there? And why did India leave? First, let's tell you about the location. Ayni is located just west of Dushanbe. It is home to the GMA, or the Gisar Military Aerodrome. At the start of the 21st century, this base was dilapidated. The Tajiks could not maintain or rebuild it. So around the year 2001, the Indian government had a brainwave. What if New Delhi took over this base? The idea found support in India's then Defence Minister George Fernandes. Another key driver of this project was Ajit Doval. That's right, India's current national security advisor. He was a huge advocate for taking over this base in Tajikistan. So in 2002, India and Tajikistan signed a contract in the year 2002, and then the work began. The project was run by the Indian Air Force. The Border Roads Organization, or the BRO, was also roped in. Some 200 Indians began work at the Ayni base. They built a 3,200 meter runway, basically long enough for even large aircraft to land. And who funded this? The Ministry of External Affairs. They poured some $100 million into Ayni. By the year 2005, the work was complete. India had an operational base in Central Asia, which brings us to the second question. What did India do there? New Delhi never had permanent deployments. We had 2 or 3 military helicopters stationed there. Both those were gifts to Tajikistan. The Indian soldiers simply operated them. The current government also deployed some fighter jets in Ayni, specifically the Sukhoi Su-30. Again, this was a brief deployment. It was never stationed on a permanent basis. For India, this base was all about strategic presence. Because look at where Tajikistan is. It shares a border with Afghanistan and China. It's also quite close to POK, that's Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. So from Ayni, from this base, India could project power. It could also bypass Pakistan and access Afghanistan and Central Asia. And we saw this in August 2021. The Taliban had overrun the Afghan capital. Hundreds of Indian citizens and diplomats had to be evacuated. Enter the Ayni base. India's transport planes were deployed to this base. They waited for clearance in Tajikistan, and once the coast was clear, they flew into Kabul. So the base wasn't just about posturing, it actually came in handy. Which brings us to the final question. Why did India leave it? Because Tajikistan wanted us to leave. In 2021, they informed India that the lease would not be extended, meaning New Delhi would have to withdraw. No official reason is available in the public domain, but reports say China and Russia played a role. Both those countries are battling for influence in Central Asia. For Russia, the region is their backyard. It used to be part of the former Soviet Union. And for China, it's a bridge to West Asia and Europe. Beijing sees itself as the prominent power in Eurasia. Both Russia and China did not like the idea of non-regional troops at Ayni, so they pressured Tajikistan to end the lease. The question is, what next? India has ambitious designs in Central Asia. Our hope is to access this region through the Chabahar port, which is a big-ticket project in southern Iran, Chabahar. But as this episode shows, it won't be easy. India will meet resistance in Central Asia. The key is to keep trying. Keep offering better deals and better terms. Eventually, opportunities will open up.
Want the facts?
The latest developments?
News that gets straight to the point.
Well, we've got all three just for you. This is Firstpost Live, a brand new show, your window into what really matters.
Don't miss it.